sport. Ken and his dad went out. Family purchased the Mining for Dollars. This tractor would come out of the state of Kentucky. Tom Warsaw owned it. It was called the Groundhog and been campaigning it very, very strongly ever since. Building the heat. The four Chargers coming to life. Ken Needham. The test pull up. 7,700-pound superstock. Sled, waiting on the green flag to fly as the sled is ready. Once the track clears, green flag is flying over the 300-foot track area. For the preparation H, Tom Harmon. Starting to build the heat. And Tom's going to be right in at 280. We will get the track area cleared of the track maintenance equipment. The green flags will fly for Roger. The Storm, Massey about to come to life. Perkins Power. Something you don't see a lot of in the sport of truck and tractor pulling anymore to speak of. And one of the reasons for that is that the Alice Chalmers D21s, once the tractors started developing more horsepower, now we're seeing horsepower in this class being built anywhere from 10 to 25 times the horsepower that they were when they were factory stock new. I'll give an example of it here in a little bit. Alice Chalmers, the 426 cubic inch blocks, they had an awful rough time with turbo boost blowing the blocks apart, pure and simple. Seemed like the Alice's, if they got up around 230 pounds of turbo boost, the blocks let go and they actually lifted the blocks. They separated the engine blocks. I've seen it happen several times. So you don't see many of them around anymore. Not that they weren't in their heyday one of the top running supers in the country. The Alice has made a lot of horsepower back in the days of the 2 and 3 Charger setups. But now in the Superstock division, you are starting to see 3 and 4 Chargers. You don't see many 1s and 2s anymore. This next tractor coming up, also a consistent tractor. Out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, the two-brother team, the Dybleys. Mike doing the driving here tonight. Scott was on it the other night. The Alice Chalmers D21, 3 Charger setup, the Pumpkin Gone Mad, making upwards of about 1,500 horsepower. Dybley Equipment sponsor machine, and Agco Alice dealership down in Ann Arbor. Mike Dybley. For something on that. Yeah. Well, I think. No, I better not say this yet. I was going to say we're almost to the total international parade from here on out, but I know better. There's a John Deere or 2 sitting down there in the staging area. Matter of fact, there's 2 of them out there. So coming up next, one half of the Fry Heisha pulling team out of Ann Arbor. Dale Fry doing the driving here tonight. The International 1086 out of Ann Arbor. Stock block 3 Charger setup on this smoker tractor. Dale and Brian Heisha both take turns campaigning this super stock tractor. Both very, very able and capable drivers in the process of truck and tractor pulling. They do a good job. This is one that I was talking about is consistent. Not necessarily in the winner circle, but they are there night after night after night in the top 5 or so in the super stock division. So consistent will pay off for these guys in the end. here in the 1998 season. Dale Fry starting to build heat. RPM slowly starting to come up. Once the Swiffer clutches start to engage, the 30.5s will start to spin. And up in smoke, here after Dale Fry hitting the 300 foot. And he's going to be right there. Now I'm going to tell you, there aren't too many people that would have hung in there like this team has out of Brooklyn, Michigan the last, I'm going to say 4 years. They have worked and worked and worked and worked some more to keep this tractor on the pulling track. It just seemed like Ron Fry, the German Deere, could never get the right foot in front of the left to get himself down the track area, except for this year. Now, he's not been into the winner's circle, but boy, he is getting it down the track. And that is a positive in itself for the team out of Brooklyn, the German Deere. Ron and Eric are working very hard at campaigning a super stock tractor, the John Deere 4240 body machine, 3-charger setup, 466 cubic inch block, making upwards of 1,500 horsepower. As I say, they aren't winning, but they are not breaking, and that is a positive in itself for the team out of Brooklyn, Ron and Erica Fry. Ron, a factory worker by trade for Ford in the Ann Arbor area, starting to build a heat. The 3-chargers coming to life. Ron Fry, the German Deere. Slippage down there, not a big. We're seeing a lot of new tractors out there now. The super stock division, we're seeing a lot of movement towards the alcohol burning super stocks. Now, we don't have any here tonight. These are all smokers in the crowd tonight. But you go to some of the other venues, you get down to Bowling Green, you get down to Fort Recovery, any of the other Grand National events, you will see alcohol burning super stocks. These guys have come a long ways in the last 10 or 12 years. Used to be the smokers were on top of the world, the alcohol burners were getting thumped. Now it's kind of turning its tail. The alcohol burners have spent a tremendous amount of money, a lot of research, and they are now at the top of the heap. So the smokers, the challenge has been set. So we'll see what happens with that division here the next couple of years. Norm Ware, the winner of the Pro Stock class here tonight, coming on out to do battle with the Super Stocks and hopefully get into that first place prize money and the first place points in yet a second class. The team out of Dundee, Norm Ware. Ground up in Norm, which is just in the south of the Grand Rapids area. So he too will be looking for a good solid run here tonight that will show him his hard work has paid off for the 1998 campaign. A lot of these guys, especially Jim, I know they had a lot of hay down. They needed to get it put up before the weather changed on them. Time to do hay, you can't do tractor pulling too, so he put the tractor aside for a couple days, was able to get the hay done, got the tractor put back together, and is out here tonight. So watch the twin stacks as the 4 Chargers start to come to life. The Radical Red, Jim Shandor. Well, evidently, he's got some more problems than what he thought he had there. But there again, there's the process. We talked about it earlier on tonight. You have to hook them to the sled to see what's going to happen. You just don't run them up and down the road like your local mechanic would do. Well, but because I have spent a tremendous amount of time talking to the guy that drives and owns this tractor, talking to the guy that builds the turbocharger and water injection systems in this tractor. The next tractor coming up out of Charlotte, Michigan, the Screamin' Demon 2, Jerry Van Dorpy. This tractor, out of the factory, brand new, was 105 horsepower, International 986. No turbos. There was a non-turbocharged tractor when it was new. Right now, up underneath the hood and the cowling of this tractor, there are 4 chargers and better than 500 cubic inches out of the stock block motor. Watch as the twin stacks come to life, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. Jerry Van Dorpy, the Screamin' Demon 2. This is the last Pro Stocker. I told you a little bit ago, there are two basic differences between the Pro Stock division and the Super Stocks. One is visual, one is not. The visual is the rear tires. Pro Stock tractors are limited to 24.5-inch tires. The Super Stocks have 30.5s on the back. The non-visual. Pro Stock tractors are limited to one very, very large turbocharger. The Super Stocks are limited, there's no limit. Actually, they will have 2, 3, and 4 chargers on them. So those are your two basic differences. They look the same, with the exception of the rear tires, if you look at them real close. So Ed Clark, the Red Hot International out of Ida, coming up for his pass here at the 7,700-pound Super Stock class. We got 2 of them out the gate so far, both of them red. Ken Measles, the Mighty for Dollars, and Jerry Van Dorpy screaming David 2. Now, earlier on, I had you folks take a look at a set of rear tires. That was in the first class, Joe Schumacher's tractor. What I was having you look at that time was what we call a single cut tire. Okay? Single cut. And basically all they've done is they've taken a 30.5-inch tire, shaved the bars down to 1/8 of an inch. That's all the taller they are. 1/8 of an inch. Now, tractors in competition, I can't see John's right now, and I can't remember whether he's got singles or doubles. He's got singles on it also. There's actually the last 3 tractors that are sitting down there, starting with Jim Shandorf, Ken Measles, and Jerry Van Dorpy's. They are all what we call double cut tires. And what they did is they took that original 1/8 of an inch bar and cut another 1/8 of an inch groove in between each of those bars. They look different. So coming up to the line, John Neal starting to build the heat. The 4320 gears coming along. Whoa! And that's going to be scored a disqualification, ladies and gentlemen. He dropped weight on the track under green flag conditions. So a tough break for John Neal, the Jim going to try over there just a little bit left of center. Now he come out, started hammering the International 3688, got underneath the Chargers. For the fellow out of Door, Michigan here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Shandorf, the Radical Red, will be back another day. Tractor pulls, I've heard announcers talking about 100,000 pounds, 200,000 pounds are pulling. That's garbage, don't believe it. The heaviest that I have ever seen this sled weigh, and that was for the 20,000-pound semis, was 60,000 pounds. That's quite phenomenal if you think about it. Now, there are situations where Dan, there again, the thumb truck sleds that we feel here in the state of Michigan are some of the best in the country. These guys are professionals in their own right, but very seldom, you know, you can play the game with the box, top it out quicker, but you don't have to use all that much weight to hammer on it. So that's, whenever you hear an announcer talk about that, don't believe it. About 60,000, that's the most you're ever going to see in one of these weight transfer machines. But that's a lot when you're talking about a 7,700-pound vehicle on the front. So Ken Measles, the Mighty for Dollars. Twin stacks coming alive, 4 Chargers starting to roar, 30.5 for spinning. And for 3 and 4. A nice pass, he's got going. Right-hand side, we saw them left, we saw them right, we saw them dead down the center here. And hopefully propel himself into the winner's circle tonight. 2 fairly equally prepared tractors out here in the finals of the 7,700-pound Super Stocks this evening. He's got the green light, the green flag is flying. Slowly we'll start to build the RPMs. Once the RPMs reach a certain level, the slipper clutches, as we talked about earlier, start to engage. All of a sudden, the drivers are not physically able to hold the clutch pedal down. The 30.5 starts to stand. Jerry Van Dorpy